2, 1, ignition.
Three Chinese astronauts into space.
Pitch over.
Okay, the pitch over happening about 12 seconds into the flight.
The tower is already clear. We can see the white flames very bright in the night.
青山 USB 雷达跟踪正常，遥测信号正常。
The ground station reports that the tracking is normal and the status is normal. Oh, this is the camera mounted on the launch vehicle.
雷达跟踪正常。
And we will continue to hear those tracking data that will tell us how the flight is going. We'll continue to hear them throughout the process.
So the next critical step will be the jettisoning of the emergency escape tower about 2 minutes after liftoff. At this moment, we can see that this is a video mounted on the body of the maybe the second stage, and we can see 2 of the boosters and their flames, and we can see the cabin inside the re-entry capsule, and the 3 astronauts are in very good status. We cannot see the vibration because the camera is vibrating together with the cabin.
That's right. The 3 taikonauts do seem to be in a good state.
And each of the booster have a rocket engine with a thrust about 75 tons. And when it is reached the supersonic status, it will experience the largest aerodynamic forces called the max Q. So at this moment, it will be supersonic and will be safer and safer. Oh, great! The jettisoning of the emergency escape tower.
The escape towers have come off. This is 2 minutes into the flight.
Exactly. And then will be the separation of the 4 boosters.
遥测信号正常。
We're monitoring to see the 4 boosters coming off.
双程光学雷达跟踪正常。
I mean, you know, the taikonauts do seem to be doing fine, but this is the part where they feel a lot of discomfort, and as you can see, the boosters are coming off.
You can see a cross of the 4 boosters. And the first stage has already been separated.
And the first stage of the carrier rocket.
And the second stage will work much longer than the first stage. It has 1 main engine. It is a vacuum version of the first stage engine. It is similar, but with a large nozzle. And also, the second stage have 4 vernier engines with smaller thrust, but they are rotatable. We can see on the left of screen is the camera mounted on the launch vehicle. This one is the camera inside the payload fairing.
The taikonauts are flipping through their manuals again. They seem to be really fine.
Great.
Something else.
The payload fairing is separated.
That's the payload fairing. The payload fairing is what protects the spacecraft.
Yes.
探员发现目标。
You can see the beautiful flames of the launch vehicle.
What do you make of the taikonauts at this point? I mean, the fact that they're flipping through their manual seems to suggest they're doing
they are just
very well.
Reading the parameters on the control panel and to judge whether anything goes right.
跟踪正常。
The ground staff reports that the tracking is normal.
渭南 USB 雷达跟踪正常。
What are we looking at now, Professor? This
is a video captured by the ground station.
探员雷达跟踪正常。
It is an optical
遥测信号
camera.
正常。
Okay. So the tracking units some of them are from stationary units, others are from ships that moved into position prior to the launch of the
Exactly.
mission.
So along the downrange trajectory, we have multiple ground stations, including those with the telescopes or optical telescopes to take videos like this. And also we have the readers. To monitoring the. Oh, we can see on the left is the camera mounted on the rear part of the second stage. So it is monitoring the working of the rocket engines.
And the main engine of the second stage will shut down as we go further into the flight. Is that what's going to happen next?
Exactly. So I've already been discussed that the payload fairing has already been separated. So the next critical step will be shutdown of the main engine. But at this moment, theoretically speaking, it is already in orbit, but maybe not accurate enough. So we will use the 4 vernier engines, the 4 smaller engines, to adjust its trajectory.
Got it.
So another ground station reports that the status is normal.
双城光学雷达跟踪正常。
The Shangcheng ground station reports that it is normal.
青岛发现目标渭南 USB 雷达跟踪正
I
常。
mean, we've done this so many times, but it just doesn't get less nervous for all of us watching on Earth here.
Yes, we just heard the voice that Qingdao has already captured the vehicle. It is already close to Qingdao. And the separation of the spacecraft and the launch vehicle will be in the to the east of the China's sea coast.
I mean, Qingdao is on China's east coast. The Kira rocket lifted off from the northwest of China.
Yes.
In a few minutes' time, it moved from northwest of China to the east coast of the country.
And before the end of the working of the rocket, the altitude will be about 200 kilometers.
Have they passed the period where they feel most discomfort now? I mean, for the taikonauts?
Exactly. You see that the most inconvenient part is during the flight of the first stage, because you know that because of the aerodynamic forces, there are many intensive vibration. But at this moment, you know that they've already in the